Entrepreneur First supports the most ambitious technologists to build their own startups. In the UK and in Europe, there's been a status quo that when you graduate from university, you need to go and work at a big company, a big tech company, a consultancy, at a bank, in a law firm. But what we're now able to do at Entrepreneur First is draw people away from DeepMind, Palantir, McKinsey, Goldman Sachs, and actually convince them and support them to build their own company. If you think about where the world's best innovation comes from, it typically comes from small companies. It typically comes from startups focusing on cutting-edge technology. Madame Clicquot challenged the status quo for her time, and she did something that very few women did or were expected to do. And by having role models like Madame Clicquot, young women should be saying, actually, I can do this. In the last year, we opened our first international office, so we now have a team out in Singapore recruiting and finding Southeast Asia's best potential founders, which enabled us to build our first 15 companies over there. We've also just opened an office in the US to ensure that the companies that we produce in the UK and Singapore are able to access finance from around the world. It was so flattering to be nominated last year, and to be re-nominated is amazing. I think having a way of celebrating women who are working in business and who are building their own companies from scratch is vitally important to help show other young women that there are alternatives to some of the more traditional career paths.
Open Bionics is a robotics startup. We started the company because we saw this amazing life-changing technology that is bionic limbs for amputees, but the cost was so expensive that only a very, very small proportion of amputees could actually benefit from the technology. So the point was to build bionics that were really affordable and accessible. My biggest motivation with Open Bionics is to see young kids be given devices that are useful to them, because for such a long time they've been given devices that are heavy and annoy them, and they have a really bad experience with it, and it leads to bullying in the playground. Some really traumatic experiences happen in childhood because of bad prosthetic devices. And I want to completely change that. I want a kid to be able to go in school, show off their prosthetic limb and be like, yeah, I am different and look how cool it is. Something I'm really proud of is that Open Bionics is a robotics company. It's very high tech, but we have 50-50 engineering team of men and women. To the young, aspiring female entrepreneurs in business and technology, I would say, know your value. You're incredibly valuable. You build great products, and we need you. Start your own businesses, join other businesses, get into engineering. Great products are built by very diverse male and female engineering teams, and we really need you in engineering. The future of UK economy depends on people in the UK building great products, and so we need your talent. I'm very honoured to be nominated for the Veuve Clicquot New Generation Award. It's very meaningful because Madame Clicquot is so inspiring. She was revolutionary. I like to think that what we're doing is also very revolutionary. I'm creating an entirely new manufacturing process and changing a medical industry, and she dominated and changed the champagne industry. So it's a very, very generous comparison to make, and I, of course, aspire to be like her.